Paul, it's been a productive 10 days or so in India. What are your thoughts on the trip as a whole?
Look, I think it's been excellent. I think it's been far better than we could have hoped for. You never quite know when you go overseas in terms of conditions. We did a recce out here for 2 days to see the conditions, the facilities, look at the hotel. But the way we've been looked after here by the Karnataka State Association has been absolutely outstanding. The facilities here at Allure Cricket are really top class. They play all their first class cricket here as a state team, so we've had excellent nets, we've had excellent middle conditions, and we were very lucky to get some cricket at the Chinnaswamy Stadium as well. So we've had a brilliant week, or 10 days, whatever it's been. The lads have worked incredibly hard. We've been looked after fantastically well, and as I say, I think it's surpassed all expectations.
And what was it you were looking for to get from this trip, from the players? What were you looking for?
Well, there were three things really. One was obviously to continue the winter practice and get out on grass before the season starts. The second was to make sure that we had chance to really keep bringing the players as a group together. Some have been overseas on England A tours, whatever it might be. Others have been away playing club cricket. Some have been at home at Hove. So to get everyone together and actually have quality time together as a group is really worth its weight in gold. For us as coaches, we get to have conversations with players we wouldn't otherwise have, and even as a coaching team we've spent a lot of time together over this period really talking about players, plans, how we're going to play this summer and how we're going to operate. So that's been really good. And the final thing, the reason for coming to India in the first place was that India has such a rich history of cricket. It's a place that if you love the game of cricket you have to come to at least once, and a lot of our young players haven't been here before. A lot of them are not experienced conditions of India as a country, as a culture and as a cricketing place. So from that point of view it's been absolutely fantastic. And
the teams we've played here at the KCSA, they've offered really good quality for our boys.
Yeah, their under 23 team, their state team, have been the national champions this year, but they've got so many good players. I mean, you look round the country as a whole, there are so many talented cricketers in India, and it's no surprise. We see in the IPL every year how many young players come into that competition every year. We saw in the Test series recently young players coming in that have, they're not young in terms of experience. They've got a lot of first-class runs and wickets, and they came into that Test series against England and played brilliantly. So it is a country full of extremely talented players. So to come here and play the State Association team means that it's opportunity for them to play against English cricketers in their own conditions, and they've been fantastic as well. They provided great opposition, they've been very competitive, and we've had some really good cricket with them.
And in the past couple of years the club's decided to use a marquee over the outdoor nets at the Far Central County Ground. What are the advantages of coming out on a trip like this compared to doing something like that?
Well, the main advantage, as I say, is getting out on grass with the sun on your back, rather than being in a marquee at home at Hove, which is great, and the pitches have been fantastic. They were last year, my first year, but to be where you can actually play cricket, we've been able to do middle scenarios, been able to play games, and we've been able to properly play the game of cricket rather than being in a marquee. But as I say, the conversations you have with players around the hotel, on the bus to and from training, over a coffee, they're conversations you don't otherwise get to have. So for all of us coaches, we've been able to get much closer, understand the players a lot more, and for them to get to know us a lot better as well. So from that point of view, time together in a country like India, as I say, it really is fantastic.
And we'll be heading home soon. Attention will turn to the county championship, but before that there's 2 warm-up matches at Hove against Hampshire and Surrey. What are you looking to get from those matches?
Well, there'll be a continuation of this trip. So Monday, Tuesday against Surrey, and then Friday, Saturday against Hampshire are just a continuation of this trip. And then that gives us 2 weeks leading into the first game against Northants at home. So next week will be a match week, and the week after will be about fine-tuning, making sure everyone's ready to go. But the great thing about this trip is that it's thrown up some selection headaches for the first game, which is really exciting. We know that Cheteshwar Pujara arrives hopefully to play the first game. Jaden Sills arrives to play the first game. We probably have Oliver Robinson available for the first game as well, and then players here know there's competition for places, and I think that's the one thing that we've really developed. We genuinely have got competition for places. John Simpson coming into the squad, obviously Danny Lamb coming into the squad, both have done really well on this trip. So we know that we have competition, and we know that players over the next fortnight have got to use those 2 practice games really well to make sure that they give themselves a chance of being selected in the first championship side.